My name is Mark Lewis and I'm the writer and director of Vatican Girl, the new documentary series on Netflix. Amir is incredibly important, I think, for gathering together individuals from the television industry internationally. I think the conversations that you have here, especially where there are organisations like Netflix Rome, where you can really talk about taking local Italian stories and seeing how they can transport for an international audience. My perspective is I'm a British filmmaker from a British company, Raw Television, and our interest here is in, there are just amazing stories here in Italy. We want to be doing as many as we can, finding really good stories here, telling them for an Italian audience, but telling them as much for an international audience as well. Well, I think you're absolutely right. The challenges of the last 2 years, I've just made a series in Rome over the last 2 years, all the way through COVID, so I know how challenging the pandemic has been. It really sort of tested us to the very end. Let's hope without the pandemic it can be much, much easier, and the access to people and places and locations can mean that we can, and stories of course, that mean that we can make ever better films. I think it's a really exciting time for television. The streamers such as Netflix are really focusing on really good stories, authentically told from all countries around the world, and especially here in Europe. I think it's a very exciting time for a director like myself to be finding these stories and hopefully bringing them to an international stage.